Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Baseless Claims, our casual conversational comedy podcast. My name is Tori, run with the hatchet, Thompson, whoop whoop.
My name is Tyler, moviegoer Matheson.
Oh boy, yours sounds depressing.
Not nearly as depressing as running with the hatchet, because honestly, Tori, I can't think of anything more sad in the year of our Lord 2022 than running with the hatchet.
Whoop whoop. Come on, Tyler.
I don't know a single Insane Clown Posse song other than Insane in the Membrane.
Oh, the only one that I've ever heard is the one that where he's like magnets. How the fuck do those work?
You know what? Maybe not the best songwriters, but philosophers, perhaps.
Sure. Or gang leaders, as they are technically classified as a gang.
I'm sorry, is that on the FBI website? Is that
Yes.
Wait.
No, juggalos are a gang. I swear to God, they're legally classified as a gang.
Are we talking like, that's the old boy shooting gang? Or are we talking like this is the FBI considers them a threat to this nation alongside MS-13?
Yes, like if there are 3 or more juggalos next to each other, they can be arrested.
Wait. Is that legal? Can we do that?
Who knows?
I feel like it's a necessary step to get to the furries, Tori, okay? It's a necessary step.
We can't take down the furries until we take down the juggalos, those who do run with the hatchet.
I don't want to go after the juggalos. I don't. So if you're running with the hatchet out there, I respect you. I love you. I don't understand you, and I don't want you to get hurt in this. But just understand, it's a necessary collateral damage so that there's no one there to speak up for the furries when the FBI comes after them.
Whoop whoop. Well said. So I went to a comedy show recently. I saw Jim Gaffigan. He's playing at the Minnesota State Fair.
Okay, I really thought you were about to hit me with you saw an Insane Clown Posse concert and you were now in it to win it. You were.
I'm deep. I got the Hatchet Man tattoo and everything. No more ICP for the rest of the episode. I just wanted to say whoop whoop a couple times. Okay. So I'm seeing Jim Gaffigan and we hear some people maybe 6 rows behind us. You know, it's a big stadium. It's a pretty big venue at the State Fair.
I haven't seen it in years, but I was just thinking about the concept of a standing room only comedy show, and that was wicked funny. Like imagining Jim Gaffigan, like dude, people are starting mosh pits at a comedy show.
They're fucking. It's like a wall of death closing in, and he's just like Hot Pockets, like doing his classic bits.
Whenever anyone does classic bits, there's just a huge wall of death that caves in. When Dane Cook like raises his voice and says something like, the scene
I just want to do a
B&E.
And everyone's just going fucking ballistic.
You might be a redneck if, yes, punch the person next to you.
So I'm seeing Jim Gaffigan. People 6 rows behind me. We hear someone in their audience start doing like, you know, the whistle where you stick 2 fingers in your mouth, and I can't do it, but it's piercingly loud. Mm-hmm. He starts doing it a couple times. The first one, you think, I don't know, maybe he's trying to alert his friend who's like walking, not sure where their seating is or whatever. He does it like 6 times or so, and then one of the security guards comes up, and he like stands up and points, and he's like, you, I need you. So the security guard kind of starts making his way with some haste towards that. Like, you know, what's going on? So, you know, I'm of course watching the whole thing, you know, goosenecking it. And then I see other people in their group stand up and start yelling, doctor, we need a doctor.
Oh no, Jim Gaffigan killed someone with his good goofs.
Yeah, so at this point, Jim's on stage and he starts noticing what's going on here.
Oh
so
no.
He puts his hand, he's blocking the sun. He's like, oh, I think there's something going on up there. Is there something going on? Like he can't hear what they're saying, but he can see some commotion going on. They're screaming for doctors. People are like running through the stands to try and get over there to help. I have no idea what happened to this person, but the main thing that I was concerned about is how does Jim pivot away from this one? Because they did have to have a team of men carry a dude who is half unconscious, unable to walk, out of the stands. And guess what? he was at the top of the stand, so everyone watched him go. They paraded they paraded his body through the grandstand. Yeah.
He might as well just been fucking crowd surfed limp to the bottom. They would have just had they would have had a better time putting him on one of the boards and slicking it up with all the excess grease and butter at the fair and just sliding him down. Like it would have been
hoping he makes it there.
It would have been like, sure, maybe he breaks an arm or an ankle on the way down. Infinitely faster, though. How rapid of a response is needed to get this person to the hospital? Tori, right now, I give you permission that if I'm ever at the top of a really big staircase and I have a medical emergency, just slick me up with butter and slide me down.
Why do you keep butter with you everywhere? Well, it's kind of embarrassing, but my good buddy Tyler said if he ever dies at a concert, I should slick his dead ass corpse and slide it down the stairs.
Not to get him help, but he thinks that maybe it will look rad. Like he thinks maybe he'll shoot up and it'll go off like a cool like ramp, maybe a cool BMX stunt kind of thing.
Yeah. He also requested that I film it, so.
And I have a fisheye lens with me on at all times.
So fucking sick, dude.
It's gonna look really rad when it happens. He's trying to give himself a heart attack. Oh man,
what do you do? One, I hope this man's okay. I have no idea. From what I could tell, he had a seizure.
What do you do?
As a comic, do you go from like, oh shit, there's a medical emergency. Like I'm seeing all this commotion they're carrying. I can tell that a medical emergency happened. How do you then pivot into what went on to be about 15 minutes of diarrhea jokes?
Hey, speaking of things that suck, y'all ever had diarrhea? Like, I don't think there is a good way. I think you gotta deal with the hand you're dealt and just hope that no one cares about the rough transition you're about to make into the next set. Or like,
because it's not like people were like, oh, there's a medical emergency. All right, back to gym. What do you got? Like everyone is like. You've seen when shit goes down when you're out in public. Everyone wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, everyone's inherently nosy. We all want to know what the fuck just happened.
Of course. I count myself among that.
I mean, if I were Jim, which I'm not, the one thing I wouldn't do...
You're the closest thing God will allow to Jim Gaffigan.
I just have exquisite nipples. They just look great. That's what everyone knows Jim Gaffigan for, is his exquisite nipples. If I'm Jim Gaffigan, which I'm very thankful I'm not, because the first thing that came to my mind was like, I'm putting this on my resume. I'm so funny I fucking killed a guy. That's not a good one. That's one that you shouldn't do, but that's what I would say, unfortunately. I don't want to say it. It's just what would come out.
I'll be honest, Tyler, later on in the show, he did have a joke that was similar to that where he told about someone having a medical emergency in the front row of one of his shows. And it's like, I feel like he could have live remixed that one to the actual current events here.
Yeah, maybe be a little better on the fly. But hey, you also don't want to like, wait, what am I saying? You don't want to make the family upset that's with them. Obviously, they didn't stay. Like they were.
No,
like,
no. The paramedics took them away, and they're like, "I'm sorry, we paid $50 for these tickets."
I'm not. Look. I'm not missing Jim. Okay, I feel like Jim is a show you can miss. I feel like there's a few things that maybe you can't miss, which would be like, yeah, I know I'd be the shitty person in that situation, but if someone was like, oh my God, there's a medical emergency. Your dad, he's having a heart attack right now. And I'm like, as he should be, we're seeing the Eagles live for the first time in like 40 years. Like, if he's not freaking the fuck out, something's wrong. And I'm sorry, but like, they're not touring again.
Yeah, like, let me put it this way. I'm not missing the what is possibly the final live Hotel California for my dad's fucking shitty eating habits.
Yeah, I am not about to fucking miss that because you know they're about to go fucking off when they hit that solo.
Your dad's having a heart attack right as Styx plays the opening notes for Mr. Roboto.
That I feel okay leaving. That I feel I feel okay leaving. You know, it's nothing really special. Like the Eagles, that's something special, you know?
Sure.
Like it's got to be something truly fucking in it. Like if my dad has a heart attack, but then fucking Drake steps on, the surprise guest Drake comes on stage and he's like, I need a one dance. I'm like, I'm sorry, Dad, you're on your own right now. Like, this is once in a lifetime shit with Drake up there.
Yeah.
Drake and the Eagles.
Some people feel that way about Jim Gaffigan.
Some people are really into Jim Gaffigan. I'd also do Jimmy Buffett. Like if my dad was having a heart attack, my dad was literally wearing a Margaritaville shirt the other day when I saw him. So I feel like he'd understand. Like if he started having a heart attack, but Jimmy was playing, Jimmy Buffett, he'd be like, go on without me. It's what I want. He would want to go out to Jimmy playing Margaritaville.
He would, your dad would love nothing more than to die and have his corpse surfed across the crowd as boat drinks played.
He gets like transported to the front on a surfboard. Like they bring his dead ass body to the front on a surfboard. Everyone gave him like a fucking baseball cap, maybe a jug of beer. Like that's his swan song. Jimmy serenaded him out of this life and put him on the gentle fucking yacht ride into the afterlife.
And it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. The waves gently like encroaching the sand, the high tide coming in. Jimmy just escorted the tide. That's all he did.
And then Jimmy looks off as he's being sort of Viking-esque pushed out to sea on this surfboard. And Jimmy says, where he's going, it's 5 o'clock always.
And the place erupts in tears. Everyone is just like, that's so fucking true, Jimmy. That's so true. I want Jimmy to kill me next.
The parrot heads are just lining up to be murdered by James Buffett.
They're fucking begging for it. They're begging to be killed because, like, I think in some people's religion, maybe James Buffett is kind of like the Grim Reaper or who's the Greek god that like paddles people on the boat to the afterlife. He brings them to Hades on the boat.
Oh shit, I was gonna say Hades, so now I don't know.
Whoever it is that like just drives the damn boat, like. That is Jimmy Buffett to a lot of people. Damien?
Damien, the boat driver.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just making sure that you made that shit up because I was like, ain't no fucking way that they have
Zeus, like... Athena, Damien.
Whoa, what's going on here, guys? Oh, fuck, it's Damien. No, Jimmy Buffett is like the keeper of death to an entire sect of people. Like he is the only way, like you can only get into heaven. You know how like Vikings, you can only get into Valhalla if you're holding an axe when you die. Like you can only enter the kingdom of Margaritaville if you're listening to It's 5 o'clock somewhere as you die.
Yeah. And you've got a land shark in your hand.
And a koozie. There's nothing in the koozie. You just have one on you just in case someone tosses you a cold Coors Light. You can just stick it right in.
Wouldn't the land shark be in the koozie? Land shark is Jimmy Buffett's beer, by the way.
Oh, is that? I had no idea what that was. I thought that was like maybe a rad hammock brand.
It would be it sounds like a good name for that.
A portable hammock that you can just string up anywhere because, like, let's be honest, if you're a parrot head, you got a hammock with you at all times.
Yeah, you gotta. It's in the rule book.
Speaking of fucking, speaking of just like the all-time greats and like franchises and like people that are like the gatekeepers of death. Did you see that AMC is making a new trailer with Nicole Kidman?
They're making a sequel to the Nicole Kidman going, movies are magical, and then staring creepily at the camera.
They are making a sequel that will play before every movie to the AMC Nicole Kidman. Somehow, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
Do you have to have seen the first one to understand the second one?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, what are they doing with them? They said explicitly, here's the quote. There is a sequel, and it's taking a very different approach.
What the fuck does that mean in this context?
Are they going for a horror vibe this time? What are they doing with Nicole that could possibly be a very different approach to an advertisement for the movie theater you're currently sitting inside of right now?
Like, you already got my money. Why are you now advertising more? And also, what if they recast Nicole Kidman? And it's like Emma Stone, but the lower third still says Nicole Kidman?
Okay, so maybe they're taking a very like a very modern comedic approach to it, like an experimental comedy thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering what the fuck they mean by like a very different approach to the advertisement where Nicole Kidman tells you like go to AMC, it's magical here. Like, is she just does very different approach mean she's like AMC sucks shit? I hate it. This is the worst fucking place.
No, she's a great actress, so she's going to commit to the role of just blowing up. She's going to eat. She's going to look like she only eats greasy popcorn all the time. Slobby, hair's not done. And they're going to have her sitting in the chair, fucking fully like man-spreading, just down there. She's like shoveling popcorn. It's like stuck in her tit crevice. She's like shoveling it in her mouth and just like farting really loud. She's like, fuck, these movies are good.
Yeah, so you're saying that they blow up Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, she's gonna be big. She's gonna be a big girl in this next one.
And they're making because in that first one, they really make AMC look like a really great place. Like, it's the best AMC you've ever seen in your fucking life. Like, the chairs are the nicest thing. Nicole Kidman is literally in a fucking like a suit, a full suit with the pantsuits and everything, and she's in heels. So you're saying they switch it up, and now she's like sloppily eating, and she's making sure that like, I don't know about going back to AMC. Like, the person who sat next to me was so gross, I'm reconsidering.
Mm-hmm. As she's talking, there's a little kid like start crying in the background.
Or maybe they could still like advertise like AMC is a great place to go because it shows Nicole Kidman being a fucking slob and like being loud and messy during the movie. And she gets like carried out. It takes like 5 people, but they still carry her out of the movie. Like Jim Gaffigan show style, where they just load. She's already full of the fucking popcorn like butter. Yeah. So they just slide Nicole Kidman's fat ass down the stairs.
They just build a long, they call it Nicole's special slide. Because, and also, like, she shouldn't even try and walk because she drank all of the Sprite at the movie theater. Like, all of it. Every single bit that they had. That was inside of Nicole Kidman. The boxes that they had, the boxes of syrup, she just mainlined it.
Yeah. What are those things called where people have to get like a throat surgery after being a lifelong smoker and they have to talk with the one thing? She just hooked that up to the throat hole so she could inject Sprite, the full Sprite syrup.
Yeah, she's just siphoning it into her esophagus.
I don't blame her. It's the most delicious soda.
Yeah. So that's my dream sequel to for the NKPU, the Nicole Kidman preview universe.
I want them to go like experimental cinema with this. I want them to make the audience uncomfortable. I want it to be 35 minutes long, Tori. I want them
you want it to be challenging.
I want the preview to be 35 minutes long. And it's similar to the end of like 2001 A Space Odyssey, where it's like just a lot going on and flashing at your brain. So I can interpret it differently every single time, so there's not like one way to view it. Like, I can come out of it and be like, yeah, Nope was fine. But like, what I really want to like dig into is like, what did you get out of the Nicole Kidman preview sequel? Like,
right. Yeah.
What really like affected you there? Like, cause I think it was about, consumerism and how she engorged herself with all of this popcorn and blew up so heavily as like as like a play on we just need so much and we'll never be happy.
Yeah, no matter how much we have, you always have more. Wow.
It was a really weird decision, though, when they like just kind of rolled her in the butter, though, and slid her down those stairs.
It was weird when they made, why did they build a giant version of those hot dog rotators and then just put her on it and like let her roll around to stay warm the whole time? They could have just brought her a blanket.
And she got a pretty gnarly tan. Like a doctor's going to want to check on that.
It burned her badly.
I think that was like at least a 2nd degree burn that Nicole
Kidman
Kidman
permanent
got.
markings.
Hey, I did like the Joker cameo though. Like that was fun to show like, oh guys, it's like we're teasing the next Joker movie with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Joaquin was dancing on her, and that's what kept the spinning motion as he was kind of doing.
Joaquin was dancing on the stairs as her body slid down and took him out at the knees. And that's why in Joker Folie à Deux, then he doesn't dance anymore because he has a knee injury from Nicole Kidman's fat body.
From Nicole Kidman's fucking fully engorged body. It's like
grossly bloated body.
I feel bad because we're not actually saying that it's like, this is real Nicole Kidman. We're talking like, let's say you took Nicole Kidman and then Harry Potter 3'd her. Like what they did with the aunt in Harry Potter 3, where she flew away in the sky.
What? Did they bigify a lady in that?
Don't lie to me, Tori. You've seen all the Harry Potter movies.
I data dumped all of it. I was
yeah.
forced to watch them, and I tried my best to just like sleep or be on my phone.
Tori, it's the best scene in all 8 of those fucking movies when the aunt gets bigified and then she floats away in the sky like a big balloon.
Maybe I gotta catch these wizard flicks.
They make the funniest sound effects because it was just like, she literally like inflates and then like all of the sound effects, she's like hitting the ceiling like boing. Boing.
Oh fuck, I think I do remember that now. Does the rest of the family get bubbled too?
No, only she gets bubbled and they're like trying to grab her like, no, Marge. And then she floats away in the sky like a big hot air balloon because she's so big.
Wait, when she gets to the edge of the atmosphere, she pop, right?
They said they got her back, but I feel like that's just because it's a children's book and they're like, no,
yeah,
we got her back. Like, nah, she's dead.
That you see her float directly into an electrical line.
Yeah, like, ain't no way she missed everything.
Yeah, she's not that lucky.
What's the oxygen like once you get to the upper layers? Like, come on.
Not good. Yeah.
Not great. You know, Nicole Kidman's bloated ass body being slid down the fucking stairs, takes out the Joker. And then at the end, they end it with a message that's like not purely like pro AMC, but it's just kind of like vague, like don't do drugs. And you're like, I mean, I guess that's a good lesson, but like, what does that have to do with AMC?
What if it fades to a black screen and then dead center in all lowercase, it just comes up, movies? It just fades on and it holds for 5 full seconds and then fades off and then your movie begins.
No production house logos or anything. It just goes straight into the fucking movie.
Just cuts to the opening scene of Top Gun Maverick. Nothing, we're in it now.
Every movie you see now is Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I actually wouldn't mind if the sequel for Nicole Kidman's AMC preview was like a bunch of different movie trailers that Nicole is in that are clearly just like parody. Like she's in like a Top Gun like preview. So it's just Nicole Kidman inserted into all of the movie greats.
She plays the F-18.
See, now we're just going back to Nicole Kidman, but big. Like, we just put her in movies with famously big things.
They take her skin tone, and that's what the color of the plane is, and then she just, like Thomas the Tank Engine-esque, has her face on like a little disc in the front.
It's on the bottom. On the bottom, so you don't see it. But when it flips up, it's just Nicole Kidman blank staring on the underside of a fucking jet. And all of the missiles are the Thomas the Tank Engine thing. Where it's like the face of the missiles are all Nicole Kidman's blank ass face. It's the last thing. It's the last thing anyone sees when you get fucking hit with it. When we're drone striking other countries, the last thing they see is just Nicole Kidman's Thomas the Tank Engine style face coming at them. Oh, what other movies have famously big things?
Pacific Rim.
Just get into Nicole Kidman. Her face opens up and they just hop right in. There's no robot aspect. Fuck it, real steel, but it's just Nicole Kidman.
Punching another Nicole Kidman.
And it's Hugh Jackman like piloting her. I have never seen Real Steel. I have no fucking clue how it works.
Yeah, you're basically there.
Yeah, it's the same goddamn movie. It's just anytime there's a big thing, we just replace it with Nicole Kidman.
I like that. King Kong would be carrying herself.
It's Nicole Kidman.
That's amazing. Just a huge, but she maintains. It's like you take the Nicole Kidman texture and put it over that character model. So it's still the proportions of King Kong, but it is a stretched, warped texture of Nicole Kidman carrying a smaller, properly sized Nicole Kidman.
And it hasn't been cleaned up at all. Like there's textures clipping on that son of a bitch. Like
it's
crazy.
bad. It can only be described as bad.
All the speaking lines from like Godzilla and Kong now, like whenever they're supposed to do, they're like, "Argh!" Like all they do is
oh, that famous King Kong noise.
The Godzilla and King Kong. I don't know what the fuck King Kong sounds makes. He just screams. But instead of screaming or the Godzilla shriek, it's just movies. That's the only sound effect. So like Tom Cruise getting in the F-18, you're expecting to hear the like this bassy flyover.
Yeah.
It just starts up the engine, rattle up the engine. You're getting like hyped as shit, and then tick, 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 and you're expecting the instead it's just movies.
Yeah. There's no excitement in her voice.
She doesn't give a fuck. She got paid, and that's all she cares about.
We can move on from Nicole Kidman, Tyler. I feel like we lost everyone on that one.
I know, but for the people that are super into that, because that's the best part of when you go to the movies, is when you see the Nicole Kidman preview. That's the best. Regardless of what movie you're seeing, that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, and if you don't go to AMC, what the fuck are you doing?
Go fuck yourself.
Now, here's a real question now. When you go to movies, when the trailers start, do you ever get so invested in watching these trailers that when
I touch
the movie
myself a little bit?
Well, no. That when the actual movie starts playing, you're like, oh, I kind of wanted to watch more trailers.
Not more trailers. It's more just like, I'd rather see that one. I don't remember what I was seeing, but when I saw a trailer for Marcel the Shell with shoes on, I was like, no, I don't think I want to see this anymore. I'd rather be watching that. Do we have that preloaded in? Can we get that? Sure. No, I'm not a sicko that wants more trailers, because then I'm just wasting my time at that point.
I would go to the movie theater for 2 hours and just watch trailers for everything they got coming in the next year.
That sounds very sad to me, because you're not getting anything but just like Tori, you were just advertised to for 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still better than a Marvel movie, but at like the end of the day.
At least the concession would have to be that it's not like on YouTube. This drives me fucking crazy. When they do an even shorter 5-second trailer previewing the trailer they're about to show you, that's like 2 minutes long.
It's let's go. And now the trailer for like, bro, I know I clicked the video.
Yeah.
I'm aware of what I'm watching. I know this is a trailer for Sonic 2.
It drives me crazy. And also, because they have to make that part, like they do it so that it's like, oh, it's attention grabbing or whatever, which I don't think that really works on anyone. But they have to blow their load on whatever like the cool shot is for the end of the trailer that's supposed to get you hyped up to go see the movie. They have to blow that the first 5 seconds to be part of the mini trailer.
It's stupid. But here's the thing is that what we always forget is that a lot of people on the internet are children, and they need that first thing to be like, whoa, crazy.
Sure. Kids watch Coco Melon.
Yeah. They're dumb.
But what I'm saying is they're fine. You can put stuff in front of them and they'll just watch it. You don't have to make it this flashy grab thing.
True. Maybe it's just the advertisers that think that.
They watch endless amounts of children.
Minecraft videos.
Just opening up toys. Like, it's one static shot the entire time. They're fine.
There's got to be some psychological damage that's going to come from children who just grew up on YouTube watching videos of other children opening toys that they wish they had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's got to be some psychological damage that comes from that.
Yeah.
I would be terrified to have a child and just be like, here's an iPad. Because, I didn't have YouTube when I was a child. I had to wait. Back in my day, I had to wait for YouTube, okay?
Yeah,
it didn't come out. Yeah. That bitch didn't even come out until I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I was already a mature man. But now...
I was already a man. And when it did come out, it was not good shit for quite some time.
Yeah, it was mostly Shane Dawson for a long-ass time.
Yeah, you could listen to Crazy Frog do Axel F, and you know... Bo Burnham had some real bangers, but it was few and far between on what was good.
Yeah, we didn't have the endless Minecraft stream.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what the next generation of children is going to be wrong with them, where they just have this deep-seated issue if they just watched unboxing videos. I can't imagine that's a socially well-adapted human being that watched someone else unbox.
I don't know. Maybe, what if it works the opposite way and they never want for anything in their life because they feel like they were there with the other child opening toys they never got?
I got all of my fulfillment needs from YouTube. My entire Maslow's hierarchy of psychological needs or whatever psychologist had that. No thanks. Don't need that. I got that all from YouTube.
Yeah. That's also where I got my opinions.
It's also where I got literally every single opinion that I've ever held. What's the weirdest thing you watched on YouTube?
As a kid or
Just, yeah, you know what? Let's say when you were younger. Let's say, because we had YouTube, we were probably really watching YouTube and there was actually a lot of YouTube kind of hit its stride of knowing how to recommend content and have a homepage in 2010, I would say.
Oh, I would say even later than that. But that's kind of when it started becoming more people doing series and you're following.
That's what I mean.
Specific creators and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when it kind of came into a stride, when it started hitting that. Not when the stride was hit, but when it started finding the footing, it was 2010. What's the weirdest thing you were watching on YouTube?
I don't know. That's hard for me to say because I think also I was just kind of watching what was popular. You know what I mean? I didn't know to go I didn't know to go search for weird stuff. The weirdest thing would be my little prepubescent self searching girls kissing.
Yeah, girls kissing was a big one.
Yeah.
I just thought if I opened Pornhub because it said you need to be 18 to log in. I really thought the FBI would bust down my fucking door the second I hit okay. I must have been so horny the first time I hit yep, I'm 18. My brain
because you were willing to risk prison.
That I was so willing to get in there. I was I gotta know. I'm fucking frothing out. I gotta get in there. What's in there?
See a vagina so bad you were willing to
let me in.
25 to life.
I was willing to risk a federal crime just banging at the door what do you got in here? I know it's good. I must have been just so astronomically horny to be like, I don't even care. At this point, I don't even care.
And then
I'm going in.
Get there, and it's like 5 seconds later, you're like, oh shit, that was 5 seconds later when you have your post nut clarity.
You're like, I didn't really need to do that.
So what was the weirdest thing you watched?
Ooh, yeah, I'll say it's weird because I still think people who watch our content are weird. So
Sure, yeah.
I was watching like RuneScape, like how-to videos.
Oh, yeah. I did some of that as well.
I was doing a ton of like RuneScape, like how to get 1 million gold RuneScape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I needed it for, but I was watching.
I didn't even have a RuneScape account.
I just loved watching the damn thing.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful game. Why not?
We didn't really start getting like weird content until like 2013, 2014 YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's when kind of the society as a whole maybe like collapsed, fell under, and like we haven't really.
Yeah, it's when it became a more mainstream thing to be like a really online person, and that's when like as you ushered in the era of like incomprehensible memes and like deep fried memes and shit, that also poured over into like YouTube having just fucking weird content and stuff.
You know, now that I think about it though, Epic Mealtime was weird as shit.
That's true.
Like we all watched a buff dude in aviators pound the most disgusting shit you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
But now we call people who watch mukbangs like weird. Now we're like, you're a fucking weirdo for that. And I agree. Like, if someone told me they watched mukbang videos, I am like,
what the fuck is that?
It's where you watch someone eat.
What do you watch them eat?
Anything, just big ass meals. Sometimes it's a sexual thing people watch it for. I think there's
has to be a 90%. I'm sorry. Like, so if I sat down with like a big steaming bowl of Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I just had a camera and I silently just ate it and didn't say anything, that's what is it? Mukbang?
Mukbang, yeah. It's like an offshoot of like, think of it as like an offshoot of ASMR for a lot of the content because they'll put mics really close and like fucking kill that gain switch, and like you really hear every slomp and chomp on that.
I hate it.
Yeah, no, it's uncomfortable.
I hate ASMR too, so.
It's uncomfortable. And it's wildly funny that we all say to that now, that's fucked up. That's weird. But Tori, you were in the same boat. You watched Muscle's Glasses pound down so many weird food items, and they got the camera right in his mouth while he was doing it.
Yeah, you say that, Tyler, but I'm gonna push back and say that is so radically different from that thing. I understand that point there, but at least they made some shit. Like, at least they were having some jokes and like having to order weird shit from a restaurant. You're like, oh, this is funny. They have to go order 50 Big Macs for lasagna or whatever the fuck they're making.
Yeah. There's more of a lead-in. Like the lead-in.
There's at least more of a lead-in. Yeah.
There's at least more of a lead-in, but you are still staying to watch Muscle's Glasses pound down a Big Mac lasagna.
It's adjacent. It is adjacent.
And he would get Tori, that was the messiest fucking boy you've ever seen. That was messier than Nicole Kidman in that AMC. Lathered up in butter. Big bloated Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. In the sequel, that took a really different direction from the original. Yeah.
From the original. Yeah. Like, he was right up in there. He was so fucking messy.
Yeah. I remember hearing that he got like a doctor's note that like he basically had to stop. He could only participate in every couple videos because he was taking in too many calories. It was really bad for him.
Nah, man. That's what doctors just say when someone's getting too much gains. The doctors were just afraid of him because he was too fuking strong.
Yeah, his glasses were too cool. And every time they looked at him, they had to really be looking at themselves, cowering and timidly being like, don't be famous
so much because you'll just get bigger. I think doctors were just afraid to see how big we could get one man. How big can we make him?
Did you ever get into the weird subgenre of YouTube videos where it was like animated stick figures?
Like, are you talking like addictinggames.com like stick
No,
figures.
there was like a software called Pivot, and I can't remember, like, it's called like Goofy Stick Guys or something like that. I can't remember now. God damn it.
No, I really want you to out yourself as having watched something like really fucking weird, and everyone's going to be like, yo, what the fuck?
No, I watch weirder stuff on YouTube now, mostly because our friend Lucas sends me the craziest shit in the world.
I watch ASMR. I'm weirder now than I was. I'm fucking disgusting. I'm listening to people whisper in my ears. What a fucking sick man.
You are. That's fucking disgusting. Look, I lost respect for you when I found out that ASMR is a big part of your life. It's a major component.
Look, I don't know what to say. It just feels good when they whisper in your ear. But yeah, I will fully agree that now I'm into way weirder shit. And there's kind of no going back. Because like now it's more embarrassing to be like approaching 30 and being like, yeah, this is just kind of a part of me. I can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
There's no going
too
back.
Deep in, Tyler, but it's never too late to get back on God's path.
No, I think sometimes even Jesus has his limits. I think sometimes Jesus
He's
says,
like, sorry, they whispered into microphone. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, but we don't need to go into any more weird YouTube shit. Everyone should be able to just have their weird YouTube shit and just keep it private. But that's the thing. Just keep it private. Don't tell us. We don't need to know.
Yeah, don't tell almost anyone.
Because here's the thing, Tori.
You know in your mind, you know what is okay to tell people and what is not. And I don't care how progressive we're getting. Don't tell people.
Don't tell people. It's your weird thing. But I mean, Tori, we're probably, like you and I are probably a lot of people's weird thing. Like, we make Skyrim content.
Well,
who
we
wants
also
to
get
admit
comments
that?
on this podcast that are like, someone just commented, I think last week on the podcast, where it was like, great, you've made it even harder to listen to this around anyone.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Like, yeah, it's not great.
Well, I think it was just because we were talking about poop. I think that was the poop episode.
We were talking a lot about poop, but I mean, this week's not better. I mean, imagine your friend comes over and they're hearing our great Jimmy Buffett heaven goofs.
They're hearing.
It's going to take a lot to onboard someone to this show.
Yeah, but it's just like we're just prepping them. We're just kind of like we're using Skyrim as the base to like get them introduced to it. And then, eventually they'll be on board with our sick, twisted, big ass, bloated Nicole Kidman shit. And I know you think we're talking about it as a goof. This is secretly our sexual gratification. Is to do a podcast and talk about fucking nasty ass bloated Nicole Kidman. God, it just gets our rocks off.
Little fucking sea slug of a
just
human.
just fucking slamming Sprite straight into the throat. Just fucking digging that whole thing in. Yeah, I know we are a lot of people's like weird thing because like no one's at. I know a couple people who watch us are in like college age. I think they go to like a university or school or something like that. Because we get some comments that are like, oh, I was watching this in school or something. And they've been commenting for a while. So it's like, I know you've got to be in college at this point.
Yeah.
And it's got to be like, can you imagine them in class? Like, oh, what are you watching on YouTube? Nothing. I wouldn't want to admit to someone like, okay, so there's these guys and they play Skyrim and they check out mods. Okay, so it's like a mod review. Kind of. They're not really good at showing off the mods, though. They're really not good at it.
Well, okay, so what do they do? Well, they think they're funny.
I don't know. This one they were doing like a Willem Dafoe impression for a lot of it. They were talking about Willem Dafoe.
They showed up, they were starting to show off the mod, and then as they were talking about the main core features of the mod, they sort of got sidetracked and did about 15 minutes of weird hog talk about Michael Fassbender's big schlong.
It started as Skyrim content, but I think halfway through they decided they didn't like Skyrim and liked Ray Romano more than Skyrim. So they just talked about Ray Romano the whole episode.
The other thing that they do on the show is it took me a long time to sort of catch up on this, but it's very self-referential and you kind of got to be in on the joke to like understand. It's not really an accessible type of comedy. So I'm going to check out their podcast. I hope it's not like that.
Exactly. It's like, but here's the thing is that it's not accessible. We've made it so inaccessible that it's not accessible to anyone. Because we don't know what the next thing is going to be. It's not like we planned on Nicole Kidman getting bloated. It's not like that's a reference back to anything. It's just so fucking nothing that it's like, yeah, sure. If you're into it, you're into it.
Yep.
God, I wish I could hook that Sprite machine up to my throat. Because like, Tori, this is what real bravery is. I can no longer, after my bad fucking body fell apart this year, I can't have caffeine and I can barely have carbonation. Like, caffeine and carbonation are a no-go. And I was on a road trip this weekend and I had to piss so fucking bad, but like pulled over, got to a gas station, like a weird ass, like one-off gas station. I don't even remember the chain's name, but it was like, on the door, I had to stop and just have a moment of like, if I do this, I could be risking health. But I want it so damn bad that I might be willing to do it because it was exclusively at this gas station, new Mountain Dew flavor. And I was like,
shit.
Fuck, you're really testing how much I care about my like kind of general well-being versus how much I fucking love Mountain Dew.
Well, if your soul could just escape that fleshy suit it's wearing and hop into another one, if you could body snatch someone,
I'd make sure I can drink Mountain Dew in that body, which is pretty much any body. Like, it's kind of very limited to mine that it's like, no. But
I wonder if you went into someone else's body, fuck, this is a weird show. If you went into somebody else's body, if you would then perceive sensations on the body in the way that it felt to them. So like for me, I haven't drank soda. Like I don't drink soda. I cut it a really long time ago because I hate the way it makes me feel and I can't stand sugary.
I'm better than everyone. Go to hell.
Well,
continue.
Yeah. I can't stand that feeling. So it was really so I wonder if you body snatched me, if your soul would drink Mountain Dew and be like, "Ugh, I don't want any of this." And then for some reason you're like, "Why is it telling me to grab an IPA?"
I feel like maybe it's kind of a like a love story. Like my soul longs for it so badly that it can overcome any obstacle. Like it can overcome Tori's body, which hates it. And we can just power through it. And I just get you hooked on Mountain Dew. So when it's finally time for me to say goodbye to your body after so many years of journey with it, I hop out.
Wait,
so I've got
years?
Years.
How long were you in my body?
Look, Tori, there was a lot of new Mountain Dew flavors coming out, and I had to try all of them.
Wait, so I'm stuck at that point. My soul, if I'm correct on this, when you body snatch me, my soul just kind of goes offline until it.
Yeah, you went offline. You didn't get my body.
I was in a soul coma until you decided to leave. But when I come back to it, my body sucks because you drank so
only
much
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
No, not so much Mountain Dew, Tori. Only Mountain Dew, because I knew like my time in your body was like. It's like a rental. I can beat the hell out of this thing.
Sure.
Like, I don't fucking need this for long. I'm going to make sure this sucks for the next person.
There's no be kind and rewind with that. Like, it's not a Blockbuster videotape that's like, who cares that Weekend at Bernie's is all kind of fucked up. With me, it's like, I have severe diabetes now. But you were able to just sort of float off.
Yeah. Like when when my toes started hurting in the morning in your body, that's when I pieced out. Like, that's when I was like,
you even stayed a little bit like you lost a couple of them. They had to take one of the right foot gone, which is a sheer shame because I had a fucking cannon out on the pitch. No longer.
Yeah, no, I made sure that like when you came back, it sucked shit. And you also picked up like 5 new addictions. Just because at the very end, I just like shot up heroin. Just because. I just decided like, you know what? I'm fucking sick of this guy. I got my Mountain Dew time, and that's all I needed. It was me and Mountain Dew against the world. And it was us against Tori's body. And we beat the hell out of it.
Yeah, you really just started with like a really nice Toyota Camry and ended with just an absolute lemon. just a piece of shit.
Like there's duct tape where windows used to be.
Yeah.
Like it sucks shit. It's one of those
when you
cars
were done
where
with my body, I couldn't even fart anymore because like it's not even a question of if I'm gonna shit my pants. It's coming out.
It's coming out. It's just
always leaking a little bit.
It's kind of just like always dripping like a faucet. It's just not good. Also, Tori, really sorry about this. It's gonna fucking hurt when you pee. Like you haven't had water in 4 years.
No, and you also somehow you found a collection of young ladies who are quite into the Mountain Dew only lifestyle, and you gave me everything that they had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, but you had I had a good time. You didn't have a good time because you were just kind of offline.
I was just sort of dead, yeah.
I was enjoying my life without consequences. I was living like I was dying because I said, this one's a spare. Oh, don't worry. And someone said, are you sure it's really dangerous? And I said, no. This is my spare. I got another one back at home.
Sure. Yeah, this is the one. This is my winter car. I got the Corvette back in the driveway.
Oh, that's so fucking mean too. But I had to be so goddamn brave at that gas station and just be like, this is a flavor I'll just never have of Mountain Dew. This is a taste I'll never have.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll buy it and I'll let it go flat and then I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I guess I could. No, it's the caffeine. It's the biggest part. Is the caffeine is the hard part.
I'll run it through a Brita filter.
Can you filter out caffeine? Because if you can, if you fucking can,
doesn't know.
If there is a way to filter out caffeine out of something, I'll fucking do it. Because you know how goddamn badly, like, I would kill someone for a cherry Coke? So bad. For that Mountain Dew flavor, Mountain Dew, it was called Mountain Dew Overdrive, Tori. I bet it tasted so good.
Yeah, wow, that's so tempting, dude.
Tori, it was the most sugar I'd ever seen in a Mountain Dew ever.
Oh my God. That's how they get new flavors. They just add more sugar because they've already fucking done every mix of like yellow number 2 or whatever the fuck.
I'm pretty sure like every standard Mountain Dew, like every like normal variant we know of Mountain Dew, the normal variants, not the shiny ones. We're like
not the hollow, yeah.
Every normal Mountain Dew has like on their added sugars category, it's like, this is like 70% of your daily value that you're supposed to have of sugar in this one thing of Mountain Dew. This Mountain Dew Overdrive had 146. Like it was double the amount of sugar in like a Baja Blast.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck, I bet that's so fucking good too.
Those psychos at Mountain Dew are getting after it now. They don't give a fuck.
Well, they made it with the intention of like, you ever just want to body snatch your friend and drink this extremely harmful Mountain Dew, but from their body? Mm-hmm. Now, us sick fucks at Mountain Dew figured out how. If you both drink the Mountain Dew Overdrive at the same time, it'll Freaky Friday you.
Yeah.
Except they just die.
Yeah. Well, you know what else should die, Tyler? This podcast. I don't know what Tay's part is here. I forget. I kind of tune out when Tay starts talking. I'm prepping up my little cards here. So
okay, I'll do it.
You got it? Okay, all right.
So if you enjoyed the show, why don't you leave a like, favorite, a comment, or review, or just, let someone know you had a great time. This show grows when you recommend it to your friends. I know we said maybe it's inaccessible, but maybe your friend's just fucking nasty enough to try it. Hey, guys. This podcast is the Mountain Dew overdrive of podcasts, and you got to find someone that's just fucking nasty enough to grit their teeth on this sugary show, okay?
I'll tell you what I want from everyone who listens this far into the episode. I want you to go to a populated part of your town, midday. There's a lot of foot traffic. I want you to roll down the windows. I want you to have a bullhorn. And I want you to drive and scream, "Who likes ICP?" And the first person to go, whoop, whoop, show them this show. They're going to love it. They're going to eat it up.
They're going to love this fucking show. 5-star ratings wherever you can. Look, I don't want to beg you for ratings, but if you liked the show, wherever you're watching it, leave something, okay? We're not asking for a lot. Just leave something.
Even just a star rating. It doesn't necessarily have to be words, but we would appreciate the words. We would also appreciate it if you went over to youtube.com/shapelessmedia or shapelessmedia.com, which is going to take you to the corresponding YouTube channel with this podcast. You're not only going to find every single episode of this show, you will also find hundreds of other videos. You're bound to like them. Our sick, twisted take on things, our sort of our tour sense of comedy. It's great. You're going to love it. And yeah, so subscribe there.
If you've ever thought, look, I want to body snatch one of these boys, take them for a spin on this podcast, look, we would know, but we'd have a way to cover for ourselves with pod decks. Because what pod decks are decks of cards that give you podcast recommendation topics for a podcast of your very own. So let's say, by some weird curse, you've ended up in my body, which I'm forewarning you, it's bad now. There's a lot of health issues there. You don't want this body. But if you found yourself in it and you're looking for a podcast topic on Tuesdays on the fucking fly, like you need something, you're about to record, why don't you go reach over for a pod deck card, okay? That's going to get you started. Now, we got a little tip for you. You're going to save 10% on your very first order if you use code SWORDWATCH at checkout, okay? 10% off your first order, poddecks.com, code SWORDWATCH.
Tyler, are you ready for the pod deck last laugh?
Yep.
What is something you used to do that makes you cringe now? For me, it's probably Tay's mom. Whoop, whoop.